All right, guys, welcome back into another episode of To The Show Baseball Podcast presented by Beyond the Monster. I am your host, Andrew Parker, and today's episode, we are diving into the Houston Astros organization. I got Will Bush on, and he is coming off a high A All-Star honor for his year with Asheville, where he had an OPS over 800 and played some great defense at first base and catcher. So we dive into all that. To what his success in the batter's box all the way through him behind the plate and at first base. So we do that more, look ahead to his offseason as well. But before I shoot you on to the interview, whether you're watching me right now on YouTube, listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever it is, please like and subscribe. It means a ton to me. I'm making a big push on YouTube right now. It's a newer channel, and I'm trying to grow that following just a bit. It is free to do so. So I would appreciate any and all help there that I can get. So, but without further ado, let me shoot you on to the interview with Will Bush. All right, I am here with Will Bush, who is fresh off being named a high A All-Star for his year in 2025 in Asheville. Obviously, the back of the baseball card numbers were pretty good for you this year, and that led you to being named All-Star. But just for yourself, looking back on the year, what kind of sticks out to you about your 2025 season?
I would say just from this year, my first year to this year, just going out there with a clear head every day, kind of the mental adjustment, just, not getting too high on the good days, not getting too low on the bad days, just going out and having fun every day. And I think that kind of mentality switch really helped me this year. I think I matured a lot as a player. Got a lot better on the mental side of things, catching side, calling games and stuff, scouting reports, all that. So yeah, I had a pretty good year, but all in all, taking those little things too with it, I think that was big for me, and I'm looking forward to that going into next year.
Yeah, and I think any time that a player gets, promoted and gets a taste of the next level in any given season is obviously a huge deal, because that ultimately gets you one step closer to your ultimate goal. Obviously, is play in the big leagues. So getting that time this year for the first time in Double A, what was that experience like for yourself?
It was awesome, man. I'm getting called up there. Being one of the younger guys in that 23 class, and then getting back up there with some of the guys that I was in rookie ball with, and some of those college guys, and getting to play with them again. That was a lot of fun. Had a good staff in Corpus too. Basically, my whole staff I had in low A my first year. So it's good getting back with those guys, and good getting back to Texas, man. I got to wear the honey butter chicken biscuits uniform, so that was pretty cool. I think every kid that grows up an Astros fan and kind of knows their affiliates and sees that jersey, and me being from Texas, I love Whataburgers. So getting to wear that jersey was pretty cool, and just getting to be back in Texas. My family, my girlfriend was able to come down and see a bunch of games, so it was a really good experience. And getting to play at the higher levels like that it was awesome, man. So definitely got a good taste of it. And now going into next year, kind of know what to expect at the Double A level, and it was fun. So I enjoyed it.
You stole the next question right from me, because we had talked a little bit about, obviously you grew up in Texas, and you're Texas through and through. And I was going to say you're playing out there in the Carolinas, and you're out in Asheville and in Fayetteville, and then you finally get back to Texas. And you said something weird though that I had to address first. You said you're from the DFW area, if I'm correct, and I think you may have said you grew up an Astros fan. How did that happen?
Big Astros fan. Basically, my whole family was Astros fans growing up. We watched the Rangers and stuff, and went to a bunch of games back in like 2010 and stuff when they were pretty good. I wore 32 growing up. Wanted to be like Josh Hamilton. That was one of my idols growing up. And we went. I had to have been in middle school, like just getting into middle school. I was young, and it was when the Astros, they had lost a couple seasons in a row, back-to-back 100-game lost seasons. And, we went down there and watched some games, and I kind of just fell in love with it. I was like, dang, the stadium's really nice, and I love watching the team. So, yeah, and then watching those guys come up, Correa, Springer, Altuve, he's been there since the start of it. I mean, watching those guys, I just kind of fell in love with the team and just rooted for them all high school. I would always be wearing my Bregman or my Altuve jersey to school when they were playing in the World Series. And, Yeah, man, I've always been a huge Astros fan growing up. So
I don't want to date myself here just because I still feel like I'm kind of young. I'm 30 now, but my favorite teams growing up, and I did not grow up in Texas, obviously, and my favorite teams were those Killer B Astros teams. I think you might have been a little too young for the '05
yeah,
Astros
so,
team, but that
a
was
little
by
bit.
far one of my favorite teams I've ever seen that did not win a World Series. They were stacked, and
Yeah.
I loved the Astros growing up with that team, and the hill and center field. I don't know. I'm kind of with you. I was kind of drawn to it a little bit.
Yeah, I went down there one of the last years that they had the hill out there. So I went down there when I was still pretty young. But no, one of the cool things you say about that is like my dad grew up watching the Astros. He loved the Astros. So then getting into the org and I'm down there in rookie ball and Jeff Bagwell's in the next cage. He
Yeah,
works in
that's
the
so
front
cool.
office and with our player development. And Baggy's an awesome guy, man. I love working with him. So getting come home and talk to my dad and be like, yeah, me and Baggy worked on this today. And it's pretty cool. He's a great dude, man. I mean, he's a baseball lifer. He had a great career and he's still out there, with all of us, trying to make our way up. So it was a lot of fun. It was cool.
Yeah, I don't know. I got to spend some time around Kevin Biggio actually when he was coming up through the Blue Jays system, and just hearing stories that he had as a kid going around those teams back in the 2000s. Man, it's just so cool. But yeah, no, that is interesting. Just because I'm kind of getting a little more familiar with the DFW area now, and I know that it's obviously a very Cowboys heavy presence. Like everybody's rooting.
Yeah.
Not you, apparently.
No, not a Cowboy.
Okay. I stand corrected then, but I think Cowboys fans are pretty loyal and they're all kind of rooting. And I just feel like the Rangers just aren't there yet. I feel like it's a lot of like you hit or miss, even though they won a World Series 2 years ago. So very interesting. I am going to ask you about your football team later because now I'm curious. But okay, so I did need to ask. Obviously, you kind of talked about getting back to Texas and putting on the jersey there in Corpus Christi and all that. How big was that, do you think, for just your confidence and just you had kind of said like obviously getting back to Texas was big for you. You're so much closer to family, friends, and all that. So does that do anything for a player? Like does your confidence go up a little bit? Like, hey, I'm a little closer to home. Like I can see friends, whoever. Does that help a player at all?
For sure, man. I mean, getting back to Texas, and whenever we're at home, my dad and stepmom are able to drive up, watch me play. My girlfriend was close, so she was able to come watch me play a bunch, and just being around them, it's kind of weird. The last few years, like when my dad's been there, I've hit really well, so it's always a good thing when my dad's there. But no, you know, having a good year and you get the call up, like it's really cool. And I got to go up with some of my really good friends too. Me and Alonzo Treadwell, we got called up together. Hudson Leach and Lucas Spence and all those guys, we all got promoted together, so that was really cool getting to go up there with guys I'd spent all year with. And it's cool getting to get back with the guys that I got drafted with and all that too. So yeah, for sure, man. It's a big confidence boost getting that call in the middle of the year and getting to go up and get back to Texas. So it was really cool.
Well, something else I wanted to talk about, something that obviously stuck out about your game, and obviously you were in part of you being named an All-Star was your year you had at the plate, and obviously having an OPS over 800 is a good year through and through. But something that stuck out to me as well is your defensive numbers. So I know that in Asheville, you almost split like 50-50 almost. I think you had 31 games at first and you had 36 at catching in Asheville. But is that something that you pride yourself on, just being able to play a couple different positions to get your bat in the lineup? Like how do you look at your defensive side of the game?
For sure, man. Positional versatility. That's, the big thing. I'm a guy that's going to go out there and play any of the 9 positions that want me to play to help the team win. Like if they ask me to play anywhere, I'd take it, learn the position, and, go play out there to the best of my ability. So that's just kind of who I am as a player. Playing first base this year was great. Did really well over there. I enjoyed playing first base. I've always caught. So moving over there was a little different, but we had a great development coach in Ashville, Eric Stamets. We put in work at the start of the year every day, working on bag work over there, ground balls, picks, all that. There's a lot more to first base than people think. A lot of it kind of centered around, bag positioning and stuff, where to stretch, where to put your feet on the bag, with throws coming from different positions. And, I did well over there and, had some great help learning how to play over there. So did well over there. And, like I said, I'll play anywhere to help the team win. Wherever they ask me to play, I'll be there. So
I feel like first base, like you said, it's like I feel like maybe the general public doesn't truly realize how much a first baseman does. They're just like, oh, they just need to catch the ball that's thrown to them over there. It's like, yeah, but what if that ball's in the dirt? What if like the play's over here? Like, what if it's in the hole between the first base second? There's a lot into it, man. It's
for sure.
I feel like it's underrated in terms of like being a good defensive first baseman is so valuable to a team because they can save so many errors from throws and all that. So. I always cherish a good first baseman in the field, man. I love it. So something that did stick out as well, were you obviously you're talking about position versatility. Were you a little upset that you didn't get on the mound this year? I saw you threw 2 scoreless innings last year. I got to know what that was about.
No, I was fine with not getting out there on the mound this year. That was just kind of one of those things last year in Fayetteville. I was there all year. I went up to Asheville for a couple games in the middle of the year to cover. We had some injuries up there, so I went up there, played a couple games, and finished the year in Fayetteville. And it was a crazy week, man. There was a tropical storm that moved through. It rained every day. I think we had Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday all get canceled. So we played doubleheader Friday, doubleheader Saturday, and then one game Sunday. I think that was what it was. I know we played a lot of games in a little amount of time, and it was still kind of off and on raining a bunch. And it was just kind of one of those things where starter would go, we'd get a bullpen guy out there, and it would start raining. We'd have to go into a delay right after they got done warming up. So there was one, I think it was one of the last doubleheaders we were playing. I had the day off, and we put a reliever out there, and then it immediately just started pouring after. Like he threw like 2 or 3 pitches, got out there, and had to come back in. So we went back in the clubhouse for the rain delay, and my manager came over to me and said, "Hey, you're in the game." So it was also all the new 24 draft guys, their first series. So obviously they're not going to put any of them out there to pitch in their first week in Fayetteville. And I was kind of that one guy from the start of the year that was still there. So I got to go out there and pitch, and it was cool, man. It was fun. I just, I told my manager, I was like, I can't, lob it in there like some position players do. Like I got to kind of throw it in there a little bit. And it was good, man. I think I threw like 13 pitches, and I think 11 of them were strikes. So
unreal, man.
It was solid, man. Just got out there and, had that, the quick whippy release like a catcher, and just did my best out there. But no, it was cool. I enjoyed it. So
I love that. I mean, career in the professionals, a career 0 ERA is kind of cool. So
yeah, pretty cool.
Very, very cool. All right, so I am going to shoot a little bit off the field now. So obviously you had a pretty good season this year. You're coming off an all-star award there for high A, and you got up to double A. So I feel like this offseason might be a pretty big one for you if I had to guess. So for yourself, like, what are you doing this offseason? Are you doing anything different than previous?
Oh, man. I mean, I think what set me up to have success this year was the offseason I had last year. I'm a guy that during the offseason, I don't like taking time off, and I don't like wasting the offseason. I like getting to work. This year I got home, left Corpus on a Monday, took that Tuesday and Wednesday to just kind of let the body rest up. And then Thursday, Friday, I was already out taking BP. So, I'm a guy that, doesn't like to waste the off season, likes to get to work. I go up, 5 days a week during the week. I go up to my high school field, or we got an indoor facility we go to once it starts getting cold, but go up. My grandpa throws me BP, so that's a lot of fun. It's very, very convenient. I just call him, when I wake up in the morning. I'm like, hey, let's go hit today around like 1 or 2, and He's like, all right, so we meet over there and hit up at the high school, take some BP, and then I work at a gym over in South Lake, pretty close, called Train PMT. They're great. I've been going to them since my junior year of high school. That's where me and Trenner met. So, yeah, I've been going there. They're great. So, yeah, man, work out hard during the week, baseball stuff, lifting and stuff, and then normally take the weekends off. I'll go hit on the weekends if I get bored or anything, but I get to work in the off season, man. I think having a good off season sets you up for success coming into spring training ready to go. And it's good. Also, there's a gym out here in Fort Worth called APEC. There's a bunch of pitchers that work out there. So around Thanksgiving, whenever they start kind of ramping back up, catch a lot of bullpens. That for sure helps me get ready for spring training. We catch a lot of bullpens. Helps me break in my mitts too, which is nice. But man, I get to work in the off season, so I'm not doing anything differently than I have in previous years. So just put my head down and getting to work.
You brought up spring training as well, and obviously pretty big off season, but I feel like as well it's going to be a pretty big spring training for you. Are you going to, you have a couple under your belt already for spring trainings, but are you going to do anything differently at all? Like, I know you're kind of doing status quo in the off season, but like now that you're a double, you played in double A now, so now you're starting to get to that point where it's like you're probably going to be backing up, a more big league games, things like that. Like, are you going to do anything different once it comes around? Are you going to pick any more brains? Like, or are you just keeping that one status quo as well?
Last spring training, I got the opportunity to back up like 6 or 7, 8 big league games. So that was good, man. Getting in the dugout with those guys and just getting around the big leaguers, kind of picking their brains a little bit. I mean, it's a really cool experience, especially because I grew up watching a lot of those guys. So, yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that. And, I'm just going to be doing the same thing, man, just going out there and being me. And when my name gets called on, just going out there and balling out, man. I mean, that's the best way to put it. So.
All right. So something, I need an answer non-baseball related. So this question is for the time that you spend, not in the training facility, not like, in whatever, in the cages, anything. So what do you do in your free time when you're not there? Like, what did you do on your Monday off days during the season? Like, what do you like to do when you're not at the field?
And Monday off days during the season, it's kind of just time to just chill and hang out because when we play 6 games and we get that one off day. So just chilling, hanging out, go to the store, get what I need, and just hang out, play some PlayStation. That's kind of what I've been doing this off season. I got a pretty good routine going. When my girlfriend's not in town, just go hit, go lift, get done, come home, hang out with my family, and eat dinner, and then hop on the game. So play some Call of Duty, play some college football. Got a pretty good routine with it. But nah, man, whenever I'm away from baseball, I just love hanging out with my family, playing video games, just simple stuff like that, man. It's fun.
I didn't hear golf out of you. Are you a rare minor league baseball player that does not golf?
I do not golf, man.
Wow.
Just one thing I've never gotten into, and I've been to Top Golf a few times. There's a couple times I've been with the boys out to the range, and I am not a good golfer, man. The one thing is a lot of them don't have left-handed clubs, and I hit left-handed.
Oh, yeah.
So I've tried to hit right-handed when I've went, and it's not pretty, man. I struggle to make contact with the ball. Now I see why golfers, get paid the big bucks, and watching the Ryder Cup and stuff. I've actually gotten into, because my dad has started watching golf, and I've gotten into watching golf more. So I appreciate it a lot more seeing good golfers, because it is not easy whatsoever.
Yeah, it also infuriates you though too, right? Because I'm also into watching professional golf, and obviously I was locked into the Ryder Cup, and just seeing guys like that, and seeing a Scotty out there, like seeing Bryson hit these like 350-yard drives, you're just like, dude, that makes me even like more pissed that like my game is so bad. And I'm like, that's why these guys though are incredible. And it just almost is like, why can't I even do that? Why can't I do a sliver of that? I don't know.
Yeah, and it's impressive seeing some good golfers and dudes that just drive the ball, man. It's impressive. It makes you appreciate it a lot more when you actually get out there and you're like, wow, this is hard. So
yeah. Yeah, and shout out to those, those Dallas guys, man. You got Bryson, an SMU guy, and I know Scotty's not, I guess, by born a Dallas guy, but he's a Dallas guy. I don't know. They're out there doing good things for golf, and it's fun to watch. But you definitely in the minority for yourself, not being a golfer. Because every guy I talk to,
every guy. That's what a lot of dudes do on the Monday off days. I mean, they're as soon as we get done with the game Sunday, they're in the clubhouse getting a tee time for the next day. But yeah, I've never really gotten into it, but maybe it's something I'll pick up eventually. Who knows?
It's fair. It's fair. All right. So I always like to do. I have 2 questions left for you, and I will let you slide. But I always like to ask this question because I feel like I always like to show some love to a place that made you yourself and got you to where you are now. And I'll say this: I've done over 200 of these episodes with players all around professional baseball. You are my very first guy from Tyler JC. So you're JUCO guy. And my very first one I've had on here, I don't know if that surprises you or not, but can you just talk to me a little bit of like what it was like playing there and how you got from there to where you are now?
Man, JUCO ball is still to this day some of the most fun I've had playing. I mean, those are memories that you never forget. I mean, in high school, I was committed to a Division I. Pretty much all throughout high school, committed to go play. Verbally committed my sophomore year to play at Texas Tech, and then my senior year rolled around. Ended up decommitting from there. Number of reasons, but the main reason was you can get drafted at any time out of a JUCO. And had some pro looks and stuff, and that was my main thing. Like I never really cared about, playing at the big D1 level and all that, which is cool. But, I wanted to play pro ball as quick as possible. I mean, that's been my dream since I was a little kid to play professional baseball. And I knew going JUCO would give me the best chance of that, and went there, did really well. Had a great coaching staff, great teammates there. My head coach, Doug Wren, great dude. Had a lot of fun there. And definitely, some guys get drafted out of high school. I think I needed that extra year of JUCO, just to kind of mature, kind of be out on my own a little bit. And then, getting drafted out of there was, a dream come true, especially by a team like the Astros. So I couldn't have asked for a better time out there. It was awesome. And that's my advice to any kid that, wants to play pro ball and, he's in high school kind of looking, he's kind of between that JUCO and D1, and, D1's kind of the cool option to go, but for me, I would tell any kid, like, if you want to play pro ball, go to junior college, grow there, learn a lot there. And then, if the draft doesn't happen at JUCO, go to a D1 after. But I would tell any kid, go to JUCO. Like it for sure. I grew a lot as a person there and a player. So it was awesome. I couldn't have asked for, a better time out there in Tyler. So.
Yeah, I feel like you kind of, hit it right on the head there where you were kind of saying it's like obviously going to that D1. It's like, it's got that cool factor. It's like, hey, like, it's, the shiny lights and like, all the money, all the stuff. And, but I feel like we're starting to see more and more now. I feel like I've seen over the last, 5 years, a lot of guys doing the JUCO route. And, there's some pretty high picks all over the board lately.
Yeah.
I just have
Good players come from anywhere, man. I mean, especially you see that getting into pro ball. I mean, you see guys from every level, D1, D2, D3, NAIA, JUCO. Like, you see guys come from everywhere. Like, if you're a player, they're going to find you. So that's, the main thing. In the last 2 years, I think I played with a dude from every single level. So yeah, man, if you're a player, they're going to find you no matter where you're at, and go where you get an opportunity to play. And, Tyler was, a place where I played every game and got to go out there and showcase my talent. And it was awesome, man. And the good thing about JUCO too is fall ball. Like, I feel like I got a lot of, the recruiting stuff and scouting stuff in fall ball. I mean, we played 20 games during the fall, where a lot of D1s, they got the limitations and they can't practice as much, but we were out there every single day during the fall practicing and playing games and stuff. And that was awesome, man. I mean, it was a lot of baseball. I think that got me, ready for pro ball more than anything could have. So.
Yeah, and you're exactly in the same spot as all the guys around you. You're sharing a locker room with guys that went to SEC schools, went to ACC schools, so Big 12, Big 10, all that, and you took a JUCO route, and you guys are in the same spot now. So feel like you definitely made a good decision on your route, and it's gotten you to where you are. All right, final question for you here, and it is the most important one. You did bring this up earlier, so I have to ask. So I'm a transplant to the state of Texas. I am not from here. I have no dog in the fight on this battle that I have heard is a legit battle. So obviously in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, there's a couple fast food restaurants that me and my wife have gotten to try, and we like both of them. But apparently you're not allowed to like both of them. You can only like one of them. So
Whataburger.
I need you to give me your best pitch on why we should like Whataburger better than those guys over in California and In-N-Out.
I'm not even gonna lie to you. So Whataburger and In-N-Out, actually, out here kind of living in the country, it's pretty convenient. There's a Whataburger and there's an In-N-Out like 10 or 15 minutes from here, and they're like 2 minutes apart.
Oh yeah.
I like them both. Whataburger for me is more, I'll get it for lunch and for dinner sometimes, but it's more of a kind of late night, after 11 o'clock, they got the breakfast. And then they have breakfast until 11 in the morning. So I eat a lot of Whataburger breakfast, I would say. Get back from a game and hop on the DoorDash and, get some Whataburger breakfast. Burger wise, though, I honestly think In-N-Out has a better burger.
Wow.
Love the burgers from there. It's something about that. The spread on the burger it's awesome. For me, I mean, they're kind of equal, man. Like the burger from In-N-Out's good. You can get it any time. But the breakfast from Whataburger is like top tier, man. I mean, it doesn't get better than a breakfast burger. Like,
Okay.
love Whataburger breakfast.
I've never had it, so I don't know.
Oh, you got to try it, man. Especially,
Okay.
it's great late at night. They start serving it at 11 o'clock. So, if you're out late
Dangerous.
one night, on the way home, grab some Whataburger breakfast. It'll change your life, man. That stuff's good.
Oh man, that is dangerous. All right. Well, I like the pitch. Like I said, we like both of them. I think I was leaning Whataburger, but I don't know. I can't ever decide. They're both so good, but I know down here in Texas, you always got to stay true to Whataburger. But
oh yeah, for sure, man. Especially playing with guys from California and having a couple
big
guys.
Rivalry, man.
There's always that debate, but for me, being a dude from Texas, you'd think, oh, it's all Whataburger, but no, man, I like In-N-Out too. So.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. It's like you said, I've been around California guys around, professional baseball, and it's very, very big rivalry between that. So I had to ask, but all right. Well, I appreciate all the time. Obviously wishing you best of luck going into your off season and into 2026, but thank you so much for doing this.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.